everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel Medico Voice. Today I am going to discuss the topic gangrene. What is gangrene? Gangrene is a combination of two words. First one is necrosis plus putrefaction. Necrosis is mostly of coagulative type here. I have discussed necrosis in my previous video that the type of necrosis are coagulative, liquefactive, fat necrosis, caseous necrosis and fibrinoid necrosis. Here in case of gangrene, mostly coagulative necrosis takes place. And what is necrosis? It is a kind of cellular death that is mostly occur due to hypoxia, and here inflammation can also be seen. And what about putrefaction? It is decaying of the cell material by the bacterial infection. It may cause sometimes foul smell. Now come to types of gangrene. It can be of dry gangrene, wet gangrene or gas gangrene. Gas gangrene is actually a variant of wet gangrene only. The main classification of gangrene is only dry and wet gangrene. Now come to dry gangrene. Dry gangrene is the most common type of gangrene and it is mostly seen in case of distal part of the limbs. Distal part of the limbs means the part of the body, the part of our limbs that is away from our main body, like our fingers, forearm, toes. These are all are the distal parts of the limbs. And most common cause of dry gangrene is atherosclerosis. So, what is atherosclerosis? Atherosclerosis means narrowing of the arteries due to deposition of cholesterol or lipids on the wall of arteries. And due to narrowing of the arteries, there will be decrease in blood supply, means the space inside the artery decreases and thus the blood flow inside the arteries is restricted, due to which blood supply to the tissues will be decreased, and this is called ischemia. Due to ischemia, as we all know that blood carries oxygen, CO2, all these gases to different part of the tissues. It carries oxygen to the different tissues of our body and remove out carbon dioxide from there. So due to decreased blood supply, there will automatically be hypoxia, decrease in oxygen supply to the tissue, and due to which necrosis takes place. And long-term necrosis of the tissue will lead to bacterial infection and may sometimes cause foul smelling of that areas. This is called putrefaction. So finally, atherosclerosis can lead to gangrene of our body, gangrene of a particular part of our body. So atherosclerosis is the most common cause of gangrene. And which gangrene? It is of most common cause of dry gangrene. What are the other causes of dry gangrene? First one is Buerger's disease or thromboangiitis obliterans. What do you mean by Buerger's disease or thromboangiitis obliterans? It means blockage of the blood vessels that may be arteries or veins, blockage of the blood vessels due to formation of blood clots, and this all due to formation of blood clots inside the arteries or veins. There may be decrease in supply of oxygen, and finally necrosis and putrefaction of that area. Second one is Raynaud's disease. What is Raynaud's disease? It means constriction of the small arteries of our body that supply blood to the skin. Due to constriction of the small arteries, there will automatically be decreased oxygen supply, that is ischemia, and this will lead to hypoxia of that area, and finally gangrene. Third one is ergot poisoning. Ergot poisoning is a type of fungus, so it can cause certain abnormalities in our body, due to which blood supply of our body get affected and may get constricted, or blood supply may get restricted to certain tissues of our body, and this may lead to gangrene. Now, line of separation or demarcation. Clear line of separation or demarcation can be seen in case of dry gangrene. You can see here, let's take a section of a tissue. Here is a clear demarcation of line between necrosed tissue and the normal tissue. So, in case of dry gangrene, you can easily differentiate the normal tissue from the necrosed tissue. Thus, here there will be slow infection because there is a clear line of demarcation. There will be a slow infection process, and chances of septicemia also decreases. Septicemia means bacterial infection in the blood. Now come to the gross features of dry gangrene. What will be the gross feature of the tissue where dry gangrene has taken place? Gross features means that we see from our naked eyes, that is without the microscope. So what we will see in tissue? The tissue of dry gangrene will be dry, shrunken and dark black in color. Now, due to cellular death, the RBC present in the cell gets broken down, and due to breaking of RBC, there will be liberation of hemoglobin. And as we all know that hemoglobin is composed of iron, so obviously there will be release of iron, and this iron will combine with H2S, hydrogen sulfide, that is produced by bacteria. And this iron and hydrogen sulfide combine to form iron sulfide, which gives black color to the necrosed tissue. Now come to spontaneous amputation. In case of dry gangrene, spontaneous amputation can be taken place. Spontaneous amputation means falling off of the gangrenous tissue if it is not removed surgically. Means there will be a spontaneous amputation of a particular necrosed tissue of our body if it is not removed surgically. Now come to wet gangrene. Wet gangrene, as by the name only, it occurs in moist organs like bowel, lung, mouth, cervix, etc. We can take example of wet gangrene as diabetic foot. What happened in case of diabetic foot? In case of diabetic patient, due to increase in concentration of glucose in their blood, there will be more bacterial growth. Glucose favors the growth of bacteria there, and thus the chances of necrosis, the chances of gangrene formation will be increased in case of diabetes patient and may cause diabetic foot. Remember always that diabetic foot is a wet gangrene, not a dry gangrene. We sometimes get confused between wet and dry gangrene in case of diabetic foot, so remember it. Next one is bed sore. Bed sore, what happened in bed sore? Due to pressure on the sides like sacrum and buttock and heel. Bed sore is normally seen in case of long standing bed rest, maybe in case of coma or in case of paralysis of certain part of the body, due to which there will be pressure on certain sides of our body like sacrum, buttock and heel, due to which gangrene can take place there. Now next is what happened in case of wet gangrene. What is the mechanism of formation of wet gangrene? We all know that normally arteries takes blood to the tissues, and from tissue blood is taken out by veins. In case of dry gangrene, arteries get blocked, but in case of wet gangrene, veins get blocked. So due to blockage of vein, the affected part of the tissue get filled with the blood, congested, and favors the growth of bacteria, because the blood present in the tissue is not taking back from by the vein, because there is occlusion, there is blockage in the veins. So all the blood will be accumulated in the tissue, and the tissue will appear congested, and there will obviously be growth of bacteria there. And due to congestion of the tissue, or due to filling of blood in the tissue, there will be chances of rapid infection there, and also the chances of septicemia increases, that is bacterial infection in the blood. And the next one is, there is no clear line of demarcation in case of weight gangrene. Like this is a section of a tissue in which the necrosed part of the tissue cannot be differentiated by any line of demarcation from the normal part of the tissue. So it's difficult in case of weight gangrene to surgically remove the necrosed part of the tissue. So it is more dangerous. And in gross features, what we will see in case of weight gangrene, the tissue will be weight, obviously due to accumulation of blood in the tissue. Tissue will be soft and swollen, and also rotten because of the bacterial infection there, because of large amount of bacterial infection there, and it will be dark in color. Now next gangrene is gas gangrene. Gas gangrene is actually a variant of weight gangrene only, and gas gangrene is mostly caused due to toxin that is produced by gas forming Clostridium bacteria. Clostridia is a type of gram positive anaerobic bacteria that produces toxins, and it causes necrosis of the tissue. Gas gangrene can be seen in case of trauma due to any accident, or mostly during the operation of colon, because Clostridia bacteria reside inside the colon, and during operation of the colon, the bacteria may come out of the colon and cause different part of our tissue, and may cause gas gangrene there due to production of toxin. Now come to gross features. What are the gross features that we observe in case of gas gangrene? As it is a type or a variant of weight gangrene, so the tissue will be weight, swollen, but it is painful. Gas gangrene tissues will be painful, and crepitants will be seen there. Crepitants means crackling sound that may be produced due to accumulation of gas bubbles of CO2, and CO2 is produced due to fermentation of sugar by the bacterial toxin. And due to the same cause, due to fermentation of sugar by the bacterial toxin, the tissue will be very foul smelling in case of gas gangrene. So these all are the things about the gangrene. Thank you for watching the video. Do like, share and subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more videos. Thank you.